Art. The making of objects, images, music, etc. that are beautiful or that express feelings. Example. Can this be considered art? Art has evolved from ritualistic cave paintings to digital and conceptual creations. Today, art is highly accessible and interactive, thanks to technological advances that have given rise to animation, video games, and especially digital art. One prime example of digital art is the thumbnail, a clever act of clicking a link to the full-size content. There are billions of ideas to explore to create the best eye-catching thumbnail, and the result? I just want to buy a pair of pants. Thumbnail. 1. The nail of the thumb. 2. A miniature computer graphic, sometimes hyperlinked to a full-size version. Example. Would you even click a video with this thumbnail? Thumbnail acts as a visual preview and clickable link, allowing you to quickly browse content without needing to load the full-size high-resolution file. You see it in your photo gallery, an online shopping site, and mostly video platforms, specifically YouTube. They are very important to attract attention and provide clues about the theme or content of the video. In the early days, thumbnails were simply random screenshots taken from videos. Most of them weren't particularly interesting or engaging. In 2008, YouTube began rolling out a feature that allowed select partners and early creators to upload custom thumbnails. Things took a massive turn in 2012 when YouTube allowed the use of custom thumbnails for all verified accounts. This is where they will create anything solely for attention to boost their channel. Graphics with saturated colors, enormous text, extreme facial expressions, anything that doesn't contrast the actual video, or whatever this person is cooking. You can find them anywhere on your recommendation page, thanks to this content creator who makes fun of kids' intros. Aw, what a nice young man, sure he doesn't get blamed for something scandalous. Nevertheless, there are hidden gems thumbnail appearing at the bottom. But what really makes a thumbnail great? It is key to instantly grabbing a viewer's attention and piquing their curiosity, something that makes them stop scrolling. What the fuck is that? Unscrollable thumbnail. The kind made from the layers of hell, from questionable to absolute nightmares. It is designed to be incredibly chaotic, especially when combined with an unskippable title. While cursed, this is modern art compared to the usual saturated thumbnails and garbage scattered everywhere. If this counts as an art, can I also turn it into a work of art worthy of being displayed in the Louvre? The first thumbnail to be redesigned is one of the best Minecraft videos in the 2020s. Can I beat Minecraft while beating myself? This is a perfect example of an unscrollable thumbnail. It is a screenshot of the player doing it on the hills with shaders on, with large text and shadow effects. I have seen a lot of cursed Minecraft YouTube thumbnails on my recommendation tab, but they cannot beat this classic. I see potential for a remake because of that. Will I re-download Minecraft for the sake of art? Yes. Will I make 2 posters to make it difficult for myself? Yes. Am I tired? No. Yes. These are the references I took from Pinterest, and here are the screenshots I took. Unfortunately, I cannot use shaders or the laptop will overheat. First, I made a new guide layout. I added the threshold effect and adjusted the level. I duplicated the image, merged it with the effect, and played around with the blend modes. Nothing works, so I added the wave filter. It still does nothing. How about I wiggle this shit and wait a damn minute, I have a bad idea. Once again, I fuck around with the blend mode to see the vision. I flip it to see any differences. Oh shit, there is a difference. I added the gradient map effect with grayscale color, did some other bullshit, added another threshold effect, and deleted the entire whites. Okay, that sounds really off. How do I make it blue? Ooh, let's flip this shit again. How about doing this? Change the blend mode and yeah, this ain't that bad. Let's merge it. I remove the white thing and move it a little bit. Add the motion blur effect and it still doesn't look as I want to. I duplicated this exact layer, did something with the blend modes and gradient map until I got this. Now I added texture from Texture Labs and changed the layer blend mode. I also lowered the opacity and fill from the texture. I duplicated the artwork for the backup, merged all layers and removed the white background. Next, I added the text that describes jerking off. I copy and paste that thing and scroll around. Then I put this blocky man with a perfect poster after cutting around with my magic wand. I turned him white and glowy with a Gaussian blur effect. I added a small text and layer style of the background text. I added another texture and changed the blend mode to color dodge. Then I duplicated the whole thing to add another texture in the filter gallery. Finally, I fixed the colors with camera raw filter and the first poster is done. For the second poster, I took a different screenshot that I took and cut the sky. Well, actually, I meant to separate the sky and add a wave filter, but whatever. This looks fucking terrible, so let me just... Ah shit, I skipped a lot. By the way, the footage was also glitched in the middle, so yeah, whatever. Let me try adding a threshold effect and experiment with it. What about adding 2 gradient map effects? Okay, looks promising. Next, I made a text for background and misaligned each sentence. I also added a drop shadow effect to the text. I put a texture with vivid light blend mode and it's looking great. Now how do I fill this specific empty part? Do I make a small text and that player in between? Nope, that shit is ass. What about stretching the eyes and adding the wave filter? Absolute perfection. Now let's add random bullshit. Oh yeah, I can't forget about the camera raw filter. Boom, it's done. This look way better than I expected. They are abstract, very distorted with the amount of blending modes and texture I use. Between these 2 posters, I will pick the second poster as the best, although the white background could have been better. Who knows, you can get inspiration from a fucking gooner. The next thumbnail to be redesigned is punching babies in public. Extremely funny. It's a regular 2017-ish thumbnail with the glow effects, those big ass emojis, and the perfect expressions despite the video being published in 2021. The only downside is the colors are undersaturated, but the emojis have done a solid job. I don't like babies, so I can see why they have an idea for a prank. They are too annoying, but we all used to be like them. I don't even want to have one, especially at the time we're living in. Okay, enough of the yapping, let's cut to the chase. First, I put this picture of a crying baby. I select the subject and... What the fuck? I added a picture of an innocent hand gesture on top of the baby. I added the curves adjustment and clip masked it. I add a solid color of gray and change the blend mode to color dodge. I add another gradient map adjustment with different blend mode. Nothing works, so I copy and paste it again. It looks like a shitty dramatic final moment. The vignette didn't help either. Then I add a classic quote and a logo of Jumpman in the bottom with white color. Next, I put a red metal texture, duplicated the whole thing, and added these effects to the filter gallery. You can tell that my laptop is ass based on the progress. I fuck around with the blend modes until I put posterized adjustment and curve adjustment. I play the colors around with camera raw filter and it's done. This looks chopped as fuck. The weird dots are tad wacky. I should have changed the metal texture or removed it and added another gradient map adjustment to make it red. Sadly, I'm a lazy child who doesn't want to download more texture surfacing on the internet. Either way, this is my least favorite, but it's fine from my perspective as a professional graphic designer. Okay, that bit is gaming, so just jump to the next one. The next thumbnail to be redesigned is a spicy ASMR video. Yandere Girlfriend Breaks Your Legs to Stop You From Getting Grafted. Girlfriend ASMR by Celine Dion VA. I expect this to be at least scary to hear, but ended up getting traumatized. It is a typical ASMR or roleplay video thumbnail that you will find, consisting of simple text and anime art depending on the topic. So I will make a horizontal poster with the same theme but with a few changes. That one BL manhwa I fucking love. This is one I wanna see. Yeah. Fuck the government for real. Look at those juicy details. Oh. Just ignore this man, he's just out of his mind. I refuse to believe that he and these people are straight as fuck. Unfortunately, I have to remove him because I have to focus on this particular couple. I put the halftone texture I randomly found on Pinterest as the background. I added a gradient map adjustment with a blue color scheme and changed the blend mode into hard light. I added the drop shadow effect to these homosexuals. I copied these textures from my Mary Marbling poster. You can watch how I made that poster in the previous video. Please watch it, I'm begging you. That is far good enough. Next, I made a title that describes the plot of the manhwa. I changed the font to Monomaniac 1 from Google Fonts and start aligning each word. I also added a fading white gradient behind the text. Then I put another similar texture I found from Pinterest again and changed the blend mode to soft light. I applied color overlay and drop shadow effect in layer style to the title. I tweaked the halftone background to make it pop. I added text of the main character's name. I forgot to add the yaoi ASMR tag halfway through. My apologies. I added the credits and the genre of the manhwa. I put the same layer style with the small tweaks. Don't forget to add 18+ signs since the ASMR is too spicy. I duplicated the homos again, added motion blur, and moved it to the right. I don't know what the fuck am I doing here, to be honest. Let the camera raw filter do the trick and boom, fresh out of the closet. It's basically basically the same as the Mary Modeling poster. The minor differences are only the color tone and texture applied. I'm really proud of the ASMR title thanks to the sheer amount of manhwa and fiction I read to create this. The real problem is that my mind becomes even dirtier in return. How can I learn more about accounting? Or rather, why the fuck was I born here? Last but not least, we have Rap Fans Are Really Weird by UVXCX. What kind of thumbnail could he possibly have created to be on this list? I mean, it unfortunately happened, but this looks out of context without the title. I agree with that opinion.
1. A part or an unspecified number of something, such as a class or group, named or implied.
Rap fans are off the joints specifically. Okay, how do I defend myself without getting my ass cooked? Slayer's new EP is good. I love Promise as much as I love The Sample, which is my album of the year. Future's recent album entertained me in a good and bad way. Too Slimy being himself as always. There's Drake's triple album. Sure. Ken Carson's new album is okay. I don't know what to say, so I'm just going to make posters of him and Playboy Cardi. First, I selected the subject with a lasso tool and duplicated, and now let's focus on making Ken's poster first. For the background, I applied a mosaic effect and added threshold adjustment. There's a room of potential to make this better, so I tried everything with 2 adjustments. I kind of gave up. Don't forget to add the drop shadow effect to the glory king of Rage himself. I added a sparkly star texture with the blend mode of color dodge. I removed those dots that overlap his face. Random bullshit, go! It is still the same. What about adding white veil text to the background? Yeah, that's very good. I made him big for better proportion. Okay, I will come back after I make a poster of Playboy Cardi. I borrowed the white veil text and the drop shadow effect, including the adjustments. I added another gradient map adjustment with pin-like blend mode. I duplicated the white veil text and applied the mosaic effect. Ooh, shit! I put curves adjustment for darker backgrounds. I copy and paste the them and stretch them wide. Then I added motion blur and changed the blend mode to vivid light. I put another texture and tweaked the blending mode. These posters are almost done. Now it's time to add out of context captions. But before that, more texture, yay! I made a guide layout to align the caption. Then I added one with the drop shadow effect too. I mean, who doesn't like getting our balls itch? Because I don't. I duplicated the caption to the Cardi's poster and edited with different text. I didn't know what was I cooking here, but if it looks good, it looks good. I did the usual filter gallery and camera raw filter. Same goes with Cardi too. And there you have it, your typical black and white OPM poster style with the king and the prince, I suppose. I wish I knew how to tone the noise down on the background here. At least the caption will throw the people off guard. Will I be able to understand and acknowledge their music deeply after years of ear training?
This is the best fucking of all time!
No, but this music can be subjective in terms of personal preference and taste. There are some people who don't actually like the right genre, yet I unradically resistant to this type of music. If I post some of my wildest music take on social media, I will be kidnapped and never seen again. Not everyone understands it, but that's alright. Just don't ask any questions about my music taste, please. And there you have it, 6 beautiful posters based on 4 unhinged YouTube thumbnails. Whenever you're bored or experiencing an artistic or mental block, I recommend doing this, or simply taking a break or going for a walk outside for an hour. I know your eyes are tired after a few procrastinations. This is a great way to try something new and experiment with your style. I will do it again in the future because there are a lot of thumbnails I want to redesign. Hopefully I could make anything about a poster. Anyway, thank you for watching the whole or a portion of this video. Some of you could not watch the entire video due to sheer amount of brain rots, and I totally understand that, except for that part. I will see you in the next... Wait a minute, how many months do I have to start writing my thesis? Yeah, I could make another tier list video while writing in a room.